Welcome back. This is a Fox News Alert. We're going back to Rick Leventhal live in Boston. Rick is standing by with an update on who law enforcement may be looking for, a big piece of this puzzle. Rick.
Brett, we had heard many reports earlier today that the federal authorities might have identified suspects, might even have made arrests in this case of the explosions at the Boston Marathon. I can tell you now that I can confirm through federal law enforcement source that photos are being distributed of two men who are considered persons of interest in this case. These men have apparently not been identified by name, but authorities are definitely looking for them. They want to talk to these men. They may have been involved in this bombing.
Okay, Charles, as we did the other night, news breaking right before the panel, two men, persons of interest in this case, and they do have photos, but they don't have them in custody.
Well, what Rick said is it's a big event. If they actually have the pictures of two people who apparently are carrying what looks like explosives, those are your terrorists. I mean, it's hard to imagine any other scenario, unless they were handed the bags by somebody or were carrying it unknowingly, which is a pretty remote event. So I think what we're hearing is that they're really at a point. I suspect if passing around the photos isn't enough, they will likely put it on the air so people will be able, so that millions of people who might know who this is will be exposed to it, and that would lead them to actually locate the suspects. I think what's remarkable here is that they have so much video. This is probably the most filmed terror site, the most filmed crime possibly in history. What I was interested in is the fact that they asked people to give the authorities the video that private citizens might have had. I'm wondering if it will perhaps not needed now, but at the beginning to have had a website where anybody uploads a video of that event and allow a million eyes to actually look at, examine, and try to put the puzzle together. Just one last point on the uploading. It's worth, if we have the way, and we do uniquely today with our technology, to pool intelligence, you would do it. Amateurs have discovered comets. Amateurs looking at these scenes and examining the video they have against others could produce a result, and I think there's no reason. I'm not sure I understand a reason why you wouldn't encourage it and have all of it out there.
If you want to remember those 20 babies, beautiful children, and the 6 brave teachers, you should vote for this bill.
This isn't gun control. This is common sense.
Criminals do not submit to background checks now. They will not submit to expanded background checks.
The yeas are 54, the nays are 46. Under the previous order requiring 60 votes for the adoption of this amendment, the amendment is not agreed to.
A few minutes ago, a minority in the United States Senate decided it wasn't worth it. They blocked common sense gun reforms, even while these families looked on from the Senate gallery.
You know, I mean, I just think this was a really sad day. I think it's like a tragedy. The U.S. Senate can't take action on simple background checks that overwhelmingly the American people in poll after poll say that it's a good idea, it would be a good thing. Gun owners say, yes, it's a good thing. But again, the power of big money, the NRA and the gun manufacturers has carried the day. So
the question is, would it have had any effect on Newtown? If you're going to make all of these emotional appeals, you're saying you're betraying the families. You've got to show how, if this had been law, it would have stopped Newtown. It would not have. It's irrelevant. I wouldn't have objected. I might have gone the way of McCain or Toomey on this, but it's a kind of emotional blackmail as a way of saying you have to do it for the children, not if there's no logic in this. And that, I think, is what's wrong with the demagoguery that we heard out of the president on this issue.
has been a Sunfish production.